In our first episode, we have a leader who has a big vision to join us today. From a graphic designer who was born in a city outside of Phnom Penh to one of the LGBTQ plus leaders in Cambodia. And now he is the founder of the Cambodia LGBT plus network on Clubhouse. Nix, welcome to Talk the Talk.
Hi, thank you, Andy, and hi, everybody.
Hi, so how are you doing today?
I'm thrilled. I'm very excited to be on your first episode of this Talk the Talk, and I can see that you guys being very formal here.
Yes.
Now I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Should I be nervous?
Not at all. I mean, for the production side, we need to be like professional and provide the best quality as we can. So,
Okay.
I should say because right now I'm in Los Angeles. It's morning right now. So, how's your evening going in Cambodia?
My day is quite fine actually because to be honest, in Cambodia at the moment we just stopped doing the lockdown for about a week, and I haven't been to my office since. So I still work from home, but very productive today though.
Okay.
A productive day one.
And you said that you're a graphic designer, right? Currently.
I am a graphic designer.
Okay. And could you tell us about yourself, about your current jobs or, work and everything?
All right. Talking about my job, my professional job. My profession is a graphic design, and at the moment, I'm running a small graphic design agency with my friends, based in Phnom Penh. And I also do a small business to do a little jewelry bracelet as well, called Alanga Jewelry. And that is my business side. And for my LGBT part that I do, I was the former founder of Pride Week campaign in Cambodia called I Am What I Am. And at the moment, I create a club in Clubhouse called Cambodia LGBT Plus Network.
I see. That's very, very interesting. So, could you tell us, how do you identify yourself as in LGBTQ plus community?
I'm a gay guy. I mentioned to you before that I could be a little bit feminine sometimes and sometimes a bit manly. But yeah, I would be pronounced as a guy. I would
pronounce
other
he,
pronoun
him.
me. Yeah, and
Okay.
he and him. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, I would like you to go back back when you were a boy, and then could you tell us about your childhood experience a little bit?
Yeah, that's a lot of years talking about experience, but which part you want me to talk?
Okay, how about
the LGBT?
the place you grew up, and what was it like when you're 10 years old, and did you hang out with boys or girls, or how did you make friends back then?
All right. Okay. I was born in a province, not right in the city, but I came here to the city for quite a long time. I moved to the city, but when I was 7 years old, and I think I realized that I'm different from other guys when I was 10 because when we were in primary school normally when you sit next to if I let me example a guy and a girl, a boy and a girl, they sit next to each other, and sometimes the girl feel a little bit shy and everything. I do have the shy feeling as well, but not with the girl. I had with the guy. So I feel like that was something it was going on over there. And I've been hanging out with a lot of girls back then, and so some guy, of course, they mocking me as a gay, a faggot, or anything in that one. But I wasn't the only one in the class though. I have one or two more friends that also like to hang out with girl and kind of feminine as well. So I don't feel very, very lonely back then. And that is my my primary school stage. And when I moved to high school, I realized exactly the feeling that I fell in love with someone when I was 16. That
Mm-hmm.
is, yeah, that was a guy that I fell in love with when I was 16. That like, okay, I'm complete gay for that. So that is what it is. That's my childhood.
And when you first start having that feeling, did you tell anyone?
Actually, I because me and my family we not been very close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't grow up with my parents, so we haven't really talked a lot of things. I know that some family they speak a lot of problems and talk about feelings, but
Right.
unfortunately not mine. And so I didn't really talk to anyone in my family back then, but I talk with my friends that I hang out with, my classmate,
Mm-hmm.
about my feeling and everything. And sometimes they understand it, and sometimes they don't. You know, like when you were 16 or 15, you back then. If we compare it now, you cannot really expect like people to understand what is LGBT or anything.
Right.
So sometimes they just thought like it's weird. Sometimes they just thought like it's gonna be changed and everything.
Right.
But yeah, but at least I have some people who understand me and some people that doesn't understand me as well.
Okay. And talking about like your first relationship, because did you going to, I mean, did you date anyone like in your class or somebody you know from school that you go to school with, or does anyone at school know that you're gay or something like that?
Actually, because I never hide about my personality, so I always be who I am in front of my friends and everyone. And
Right.
but I didn't. I wasn't myself when I was with my family because my family are the people that I really care the most. So I care a lot about their feeling back then,
Mm-hmm.
more than anyone else. Because other people, I feel like okay, they just friend or they are just outside there. So I don't really bother let words get in my head so much. But for yeah, I when I was 16, I had my first relationship, but he's not my classmate,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a lot older than me. When I was 16, he was 28.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 12-year difference.
And where did you meet him? Okay, or I should say, like, how did you find him? Your
How do
first
I
one.
find him? Why not
Yes.
not the way he's the one who find me?
Or
Okay.
how did you guys meet each other?
No, okay, I'm joking here because I feel like it's a little tense here. So I just wanna okay. We know each other from back then, like maybe very back then. We have another social media before Facebook. It's called Hi-Fi.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I used to
Yeah,
have it. High
Hi-Fi.
five. Yeah, but that's just a generic. Like Facebook is not specifically for gay people or LGBTQ people, right? Back then we didn't have any.
I don't think anything is for LGBT people actually back then. It's just like
Yeah.
for the like for everybody. But
Right. Right.
yeah, that's how I
But
met him
but
in
how
there.
did you know that he's gay, or how did he know that you're gay?
Oh come on, you like that's that's called gaydar, and the way that people talk to you, you kind of
Uh-huh.
know that okay, that's a flirting or it is not a flirting
I
already.
see.
So yeah, so yeah, I don't think people need to exactly to say like, hey, I'm gay, but the way they talk to you, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
know like, okay, he's flirting with you.
Ah. So and could you tell us about him and about the situation back then when you were having the first relationship?
Okay, okay. Let me go back to my memory lane a little bit on that
Okay.
one. Okay, okay. When I know him, I was 16 and he was 28.
Right.
He didn't live here. He lived in Minnesota in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and we know each other for a while. We are high five, and we start to know each other. And once he come to Cambodia, and then we realize that we love each other, so we give each other tag as boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he lived here for a year and a half, and then he moved back to the state for another for a year until like we broke up. So it was like 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So the relationship between my first ex-boyfriend and me, it was how to say, or like a roller coaster, because there are some really sweet parts and some part are not pretty sweet, but I'm gonna say the sweet part that make me really miss a lot is how his mom accept me.
Mm.
Yeah, his mom accept me as his boyfriend. But okay, at first we know each other, we become boyfriend, and I go to his house. He introduced me to his mom as a friend, like god brother ish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the term of that. Yeah, but so like a god brother. So we get to know more about each other. I get to know his mom, and we get a little closer.
Right.
And she kind of thought like, okay, maybe that is the god brother. So I could call her mom as well. She wanted me to call her mom as well.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I don't have mom. I grew up without a mom. So the feeling that have another lady call you as a son is pretty touching, and it's the warmth right there.
Mm.
And we're getting really close. So then I bring him to my home and I introduce him to my family as my god brother. And I
Mm-hmm.
also brought his mom to my home and introduced my family that is my godmother as well. And we've been like going out a lot, like as family, a small family. And we've been traveling to province quite a few times,
Mm-hmm.
because like back then when I was 16, my family doesn't really allow me to go somewhere by myself, right? Especially
Right.
traveling.
Right.
So but they also trust my godmother, so they allow me to go with them. And it was quite really fun, really nice, for a while. And that his mom find out that there's something more between us,
Mm-hmm.
not just only like god brothers. So she found out that we are couple. So she tried to break us apart, and she doesn't allow him to meet me anymore. So we couldn't really meet each other. And but the thing is like, because his mom also living in the States, so they are back and forth all the time. So she kind of have like the mindset that more open than some of the Asian mom. So and also his sister living abroad as well, so she kind of have that more open mindset. So his sister tried to talk his mom about the situation, and then his mom realized that her son is gay. So maybe she did what she did was half harsh, and she kind of tried to get to know him, and then she supported him as who he is. So we going back become a couple as normal.
I
But
see.
yeah, and on and on and on and on, we had like some other problem, like personal problem and stuff. So that didn't really work it out. That yeah, what I miss the most is about like the family, the bonding right there. But the rest is not so much actually.
I see. So did he like get married with a girl later, or did he like stay single after that?
After that, no, he didn't stay single. He has another boyfriend, and no, because his family already accept him as
Okay.
he is already, so he doesn't have to marry with a girl to do anything anymore.
I see. All right. And how about when you came out? Like, I know that in high school or in primary school, you realize that you probably not gonna like girls or married with a girl or
I was
a
shy
lady, right?
around boys. Okay, I was
Yeah.
shy.
Yeah, it's that's the feeling that it's like a weird feeling in our mind when we close by with guys or boys, right? And so I would like to know, like, when you first came out to your parents, how did it go and when did you do it? And
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll start from this because when I was 20, I moved out from my home. And it's not very common in Asian family that you move out from home. They're gonna have like a suspect if we hate anyone in the family or something. But yeah, when I moved out from my family, I told them that I'm moving out to I'm gonna rent my place outside. And they said, no, no, don't go. Or they come to ask me like if I hate anyone in family and everything. But I said like, no, no, I just wanna go out. I wanna be independent. I try to explain them, but they don't understand. So I said that I already paid the rent. I
Mm-hmm.
already paid the rent. And it's like, oh, really? Did you pay the rent? Like, yeah, I already did that, but actually I did not. And I already paid for that house. And
Uh-huh.
they said like, okay, fine. Then you go. They already pay for it anyway. But they said like, okay, but I know that you're gonna come back in 6 months or something, and here you go, never come back. Here
So
you
you
go, never
wanted
come
to be
back.
independent back then.
I want to know how because like before 20 when I was 19 I went to Malaysia for internship for 6 months, and when I come back I feel like I want to move out and I want to live by my own to have that independent. So when I come back I feel like yeah I need to do that. I cannot stay with my family. It's
Mm-hmm.
not nothing bad about it. It's just like I want to stay on my own.
Right.
Yeah, so when I moved up in 20, I always be myself because I have my friend, and like I told you that I only care about my family the most. For other people, I
Right.
haven't really bother to using their word like to attack myself much on that or anything. So but because I don't have a mom and my dad is living in the province, so we have like a big gap between us that we haven't really talked a lot about the feeling and we haven't see each other that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember on my 22 birthday, I had like 6 or 7 birthday party that hosted by my friend, my colleagues, my boss, my classmate. Everybody made it for me like separately, so I record all the video of my birthday and my picture and that, and I collage it all as one and post it on Facebook. And that day one day my dad come to my home. He come to Phnom Penh. I invite him to my home. Before I know that day that I really want to come out to my dad, and I know deep inside that I need to tell him
Mm-hmm.
because I planned to do that a year before that already, but I wasn't brave enough to say anything. I was very scared of whatever the outcome of that.
Right.
But on my 22 birthday, I was so ready for it because I haven't talked much with my family, and I draw the best and the worst scenario when I come out. So the best scenario is he's gonna accept me, but the worst scenario I know that they're gonna disown me. But I
Mm.
know my family that if they do that, they're not gonna do for long. I give them maximum for 2 years. I think my family gonna disown me for 2 years.
Ah.
Am I physically and emotional ready for that one? So I asked myself, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'm not talking to my family for 2 years. That's my first thought. That like, okay, let's do it. Let's not talk with the family for 2 years.
So
so,
hope for the
so
best, prepare for the worst.
I did prepare for the worst. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, that is my worst scenario planned out. And because I know that in my family, I never give any problem to them
Right.
or any at all. I was like try to study and everything to please them, to be a good boy for them. But that time I feel like yeah, that's something that I need to do, and I already thought about the worst scenario. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it could be disowned for 2 years maximum because I know my family, they could come back somehow, maybe.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I called my dad to come to my home, and I asked him to sit down in my living room, and I showed him the video that I collaged for on my birthday. And I explained to him that, Dad, this is the video of my birthday. I know that you don't remember my birthday, and that's fine. And no, because he doesn't. Obviously, he doesn't. So I
Uh-huh.
show him. I was like, "Oh, your birthday? Yeah, it's my birthday. First my
Uh-huh.
birthday." So I show him all the party and all how people like celebrated for me, and yeah. So I I told him that that everybody loved me the way I am. Everybody loved me who is me, and I told him that I don't like girls. And his response was, "That's okay. You was 22. That's fine. You're gonna love girls someday." I was like,
So he
"No, no,
thought that,
no.
oh, it might be just you are too young and you still don't
Yeah, you don't have
realize
the
yet that,
yeah,
you're
you
going to
don't
have
have the
girlfriend.
feeling with anyone,
Right,
right?"
right,
So,
right.
so I said like, "No, no, Dad. I really, really do not like girls." And it was like, "That's okay. I married your mom when I was 30, and you're just 22 right now. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna
Uh-huh.
marry one day." Like,
So
okay, you
even the
remember?
second time he didn't realize yet.
He didn't realize that. So like, Dad, do you remember that guy that I bring home other day, my god brother? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's my ex-boyfriend.
And now, what was his face like?
Okay, I laugh. No, sorry that I laugh. No, I didn't laugh back then. I was
Uh-huh.
so nervous and so scared.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, my dad, I can see that he pretty emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see like a little tear in his eyes. But he was speechless for a while. So I I did something that I never did with my dad, that we don't talk about the feeling and everything, right? So
Right.
I sit next to him and hold his hand, and I explain to him that I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I might be not the son that you want me to be. I know that you might want me to have a family, get married with a girl, and that might be your expectation, but I cannot do that for you because I am gay. I love boys, but I'm still a boy. Doesn't mean that because he might think that might be want to be a girl or something like transgender or anything. And I explained to him that I'm still a guy, but I just
Mm-hmm.
like guys. And this I there's a lot of gap between us that I cannot talk about my feeling to you. I could not discuss a lot of things with you because of this, because I cannot be who I am around you. So this is me. Open my heart out to you, telling you who I am, because I don't want that gap expand further and further between our relationship between father and son. I want to talk things to you. I want to tell you story, and I want you to know that I'm still me. You're still my father. I still love you, and I always like this. I wouldn't change how much I love you. So I hope you accept me as the way I am. And then he was still speechless a little bit, but in that time I can see that tear was in his eyes, and he just sit and hold my hand back, and he said, "I know that you can take care of yourself. Even though you have problems, you never come to any of us, and I know that you're gonna figure out about your life, and I just want you to be happy. Please think about your future, but also be happy. And whoever you want to pick as a partner or a life partner, please, a girl or a guy, just pick a nice one." So I was very tearing, like to hear those words, because I didn't really expect my dad gonna say that. I was really drawn the worst scenario for that already, but it come out like very, very supportive to hear he say that I could pick any guys or a girl to be my future partner, as long as I pick the nice one. That is very nice to hear from them. That I didn't really expect that at all.
Right. Right. That was a great story. That and did you feel like relieved back, like after he said that?
Oh my god, I was want to dance and jump off my roof, but I couldn't. So like I was so happy, like I cried, but it was like tear of joy that like the feeling that you speak out to somebody, and especially to your family, and coming out. I don't know if how many of you guys here like coming out to the family, but it's the best feeling that you get accept from them. It was
Right.
like really emotional and excited and
Right.
very, very grateful to have everything you have right there.
Right. Okay. So since then, so you always been in Cambodia and worked there, and I know you grew up there, studied there. So could you tell us about the LGBTQ plus life in Cambodia, like lifestyle, places to visit, or is it safe to visit? And also, if you know about the legal, for LGBTQ people.
Okay, all right. Um, okay. Because I used to run a gay pride campaign in Cambodia. It's called "I Am What I Am." I ran I ran it when I came out to my family. When it's like, okay, done. Yes, let's do something.
Uh
And
huh.
yeah, I take a lead on that and create a gay pride week. I blame my uncle for that actually because he
Why is
used to
that?
raise me. He used to raise me to be a leader in the class. He always said, like, I don't care what grade you have to be the number one in the class. So he always want me to be the leader or something. So I'm like, okay, all right. Like you want me to lead? Let's lead something.
Here we go, Uncle. I am the leader now.
Yeah. So yeah, I create the I am what I am for when I around 2013 or 14
Mm-hmm.
back then. Yeah, by that time, and it was pretty nice. It's just like a gathering events that we make a calendar for NGO, the LGBT NGO, and the LGBT businesses working together, and we have like workshop in the daytime, and then a party at the nighttime. We have the tuk tuk race, we have the pool party, we have the nerd night, something similar to TED Talk, and we
Mm-hmm.
have like some workshop that come to join by the government. So it's quite actually pretty going pretty well for the past 5 years, but we've been like holding it like for 2 years already because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so everything was quite good. And if I talk about the LGBT life in Cambodia, is it's more open now, and
Okay.
especially on social media, that a lot of people like they accept who they are. They not scared to say how they feel, even though they're not gonna shout out to the public like I'm gay or anything. But they always express like what is their interest in that. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who doing that on social media now. That I can see that is like the safe space for them. Talking about the legal, we don't have any legally marriage here, but we through what the prime minister said that he mentioned before about there's no gonna be legally gay marriage anytime soon, but he ask the parent, please do not discriminate their own children, and please everybody get to know more about them. So it's a positive message from the government as well. And in Cambodia on 17th, the Idaho Day, a few days ago, it was the Pride Week in Cambodia. So he sent his assistant to say something very supportive to the LGBT community. And yeah, it very, very
I'm glad to
nice to
hear
hear
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
nice.
that's very
So
impressive.
even though you cannot have the paperwork to get married, but you can do the ceremony uh, legally. Do
I
the
see.
ceremony because when you do it, no one can just jump in and interrupt, or no policeman can do anything about your wedding, anything, because you have your right to do that.
I
Yeah,
see.
that's about the legal part. And yeah, and the lifestyle here is quite okay, I think. And because yeah, compared to other country, maybe we're not too open about it, but we're not too close about it as well. So you can go on the street. I think like judgment,
Mm-hmm.
the community judgment from some straight people, it will happen, but they wouldn't really say it out much. You know, like in currently they don't really say it out too much about it because they don't want to come across as a homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
So they might don't like it, but they might not really say it too harsh as well. Some people, they just might not understand the term about LGBT, so they unintentionally say some word that offended. But those type of people, we still can talk to them to or explain to them. But
Right.
yeah, but some people are not willing to understand us first. So like we're like, oh fuck them, we don't care about it. Oh sorry, I say F word. Is that okay?
That's okay. This episode
All
is
right. Okay.
explicit.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I can say upload here. Yeah. So everything was quite. He is okay. It's. I think like if people who they LGBT people, they brave enough to embrace themselves, I think it's good. I think like what holding them a lot is the inner thought that they have that holding them back a lot, and they scare about the community gonna think about this or about that. But not only about the LGBT people, even straight people, they always like care what other people say about them as well. So I think it's about the mindset.
I see. That's very impressive. Because like I to be honest, I never been to Cambodia and I didn't know what's going on in there or what's it like to live in Cambodia. But to be honest, after I started Clubhouse, this club, I I get to know more people from Cambodia, and of course that opens my world about Cambodia and also LGBTQ plus community there too. Okay.
You have to come here. I'll bring you
I
around.
know. I want to go there. That's me and my partner. We want to go to the historic park.
Okay.
Right. That's
Yeah,
one of
please come.
yeah. That's one of the destinations that we want to visit when we go to Thailand next time. So yeah, and now I know that now we know about the country. We know about your life. Now you are the leader. Quick question.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure should call us a leader or anything though. Because I used to run the gay pride, right? But I left 2 years ago. After I ran it for 5 years, I feel like it's time for other people to step up and do it. And I take a break for 2 years, but this year I create another club in Clubhouse called Cambodia LGBT Plus Network. That is a platform for LGBT people to come and talk in the clubhouse. And
Right.
also, I do the broadcast every Wednesday that I bring each topic, like different topic,
Right.
all in LGBT. Like the first one, I talk about bisexual, and then I talk about the homophobic or anything. It's just like a random topic that we bring out to the table. So yeah, I think
Yes.
somehow I still
Actually,
come
you
back to
still
this. Yeah.
yeah leader. If you're a leader, you're still a leader no matter where you are or what you do. Okay.
It's passion.
Yes. Exactly. So now, tough question. So before like you I know that it's been a while like since you first started when you came out until now. What one mistake that you made and how did it happen and how did you overcome that mistake?
That is quite really a really tough questions actually, because I think if I think about my mistake, I think I don't have a lot of regret much, because I feel like whatever we did in the past, all the mistake that we did is it create who you are today. And I think if I don't do some mistake back then, I wouldn't be strong enough or brave enough to be who I am right now. But if I could call one big mistake that I made, and I wish I could take it back, is I I said I hate my mom. And the the saddest thing is my mom, she committed suicide when I was 10. And I remember back then when it was 11:30 that I had lunch and I was prepared to go to school, and my mom called because I don't live with her. She lives in the province with my dad. And she called, and what I said was to her, it's like, I hate you. You never come to visit me. And yeah, that was the last talk that I talked to her. And because she called my grandparents and they passed me the phone, and I said that is the last word that I said. And I I regret ever since, and I don't know how to make it better from there. And yeah, after I said that, unfortunately, around 1 o'clock when I walk almost to school, and my grandparents come and pick me up at school, and yeah, we drove all the way to Province, and everybody crying in the car, and they talk in uh, like not a common way to say, and but they say something, somebody die, and I didn't even know like who died. I they said like something, someone really mean, like really important to me, and I didn't know that that was my mom, and until I went to the hometown and I saw her there, and yeah, it just an hour and a half, or two
Right.
hour,
Right.
yeah, an hour and a half different, that I feel like there's something that I said, and I wish I could take it back. And yeah, and she, sometimes I feel like it was it my mistake to say that, because she been I'm pretty sure that she been very stressful, that led her to decide to commit suicide.
Right.
And yeah, that my only mistake, that I feel like I wish I could go back and fix it, but yeah, fortunately not. And my mom, she's the one who gave me nickname Nix. So from ever since I use from yeah from I get to know a lot of things when I become adult. I use that name a lot because I want to cherish the moment that I have with her, and I want it just I miss the sound of it. That how people call me, how my mom called me Nick. So that's how my name is right here right now. She had a lot of pressure in the family, and I'm very sure she had a lot of pressure in family. And I just I just wish that she could have someone to talk to, you know. I just wish that no one that I know have to get through the mental issue that bad, that lead them to decide to do that. And that is one of the reasons that I do the pride thing, because I don't want anyone to feel that they are alone. I don't want them to feel to drown in the depressions and feel like nobody's here them, nobody around them. They are the only one or anything. And I think that was my mom. She, sorry,
That's okay.
it, it, yeah, it is. I think I do a lot of things, and I inspired from her. And I had another thing that when I was 21, I had my roommate. He from Belgium, and he he also the person that influenced my life a lot to be more positive and run whatever I do today,
Mm-hmm.
because his family kicked him out from home when he was 16, when they found out about him that he's gay, and he traveled around the world from place to place, working very hard
Mm-hmm.
to prove the family wrong. And but the last 2 years that he's in Cambodia, he finally got the good position, and he started to enjoy his life. But it wasn't long enough that he passed away by the motorbike accident.
Wow. Wow.
And he's the one who taught me to be myself, to be true to myself, to stay positive, to spread the love to other people. And on that year, he planning to go back home to see his family because they finally talked. He planned to go back on Christmas, but unfortunately he passed on in October. And it's heartbreaking to see his mom when she arrived in Cambodia, and she hugged me and she cried, and she asked me to tell her every single thing about him because she missed everything about his life. So I think it might be not a very good tool, inspiration that pushed me to do everything I do today. But yeah, those make me stronger and push me to do what I do today. My mom and my roommate, they told me to be myself and to spread the love around with other people.
I wanna give you a big hug right now. If I were there, I would give you a big hug right now.
Thank you, Andy. That would be nice, actually.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us. I'm really glad that you shared this with us, because I found this club, I found this podcast because I want everyone to share, and I want everyone to feel like they're not alone, and their story is interesting, is important for the new generation, the next generation in the future, and they can go back and listen to this.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Thank you for having me and talking about all of this. Though I sorry, I got a bit emotional right here.
That's okay. All right.
Yeah, so those are the thing that the struggle the mistake that I made, and how to overcome it is I take all the thing that I try to find the positive side of it and embrace that. And I know that even though my mom is not around, but my first tattoo on my right hand is the day that she passed away. So it's somehow to tell me that at least she's around me, and I'm so glad that I get to make everybody call me Nix as the way she wanted. So
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So now we are moving toward the end of the program. So last question. What would you like to tell the other LGBTQ plus people today?
What do I want to tell?
Yes.
I want them to be true to themselves, and they have to love themselves right and spread the love to other people as well, because helping one another is pretty meaningful, and we all need that sometime. We all don't want to feel like we're lonely and the only person in this world. So it's good to share that feeling to other people and make them that they exist, and there a lot of people around them go through the same thing, and we'll be supporting them. I always have the quote that I put for myself and also like try to share to other people is stay strong and stay positive, because you never know who you're inspiring. No matter who you are, whatever you do, it always inspires some people. And come out. It's fun, it's nice, but be ready for it. Please make sure that you're mentally, physically, financially ready to come out, so you can prepare for that.
That's Nix Pros. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Andy, for having me. And thank you, everyone.